It's been over an hour, and still nothing.
Let's just be patient. It's our anniversary. Nothing is going to ruin this.
Funny how we're invisible in the middle of the room.
I saw them serve 3 tables that came in after us. Isaac raises his hand. A waiter finally walks over, unimpressed.
Excuse me, this table's been sitting too long without ordering. If you're not dining, we'll need the table back.
What do you mean? I placed the order with you.
I don't recall. Maybe it was someone else.
We made a reservation. We've been more than patient.
You know what's wild? How fast people forget your humanity when they think you don't belong. Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today we bring you a powerful story that reminds us how dignity, love, and courage can overcome even the most uncomfortable truths. In a world where discrimination still hides behind smiles and service. 1. Couple's quiet anniversary dinner takes a sharp turn, and what follows will leave you speechless. Make sure to stick around until the end, because this isn't just about a ruined evening. It's about standing up without shouting, and what happens when grace meets injustice. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of story lovers. We post real, thought-provoking content every week. Isaac and Maya had planned this night for months. It was their 10th anniversary, a milestone. They chose one of the city's most talked-about restaurants, known for its ambiance, fine dining, and exclusivity. The reservation was made weeks in advance, and they even arrived early, dressed to the nines and glowing with excitement. But the celebration didn't unfold as they'd imagined. After being seated at their reserved table, they waited patiently. Minutes turned into an hour. No waiter approached, no menus, no water, nothing. Other couples, white couples, were being greeted, served, laughed with. But Isaac and Maya were invisible. Finally, Isaac politely tried to flag someone down. A server walked past without stopping. When he finally turned, his expression was anything but professional. The waiter coldly accused them of sitting without ordering and implied they couldn't afford to dine there. Shocked but composed, Isaac informed him that he had, in fact, placed an order with that very waiter. The man flatly denied it. They sat in the middle of the restaurant, surrounded by other guests, yet they were treated like ghosts. The situation escalated. The waiter refused to acknowledge their existence. The manager came over, not to apologize, but to tell them their table was needed for other guests. He offered them a free meal, but only if they'd leave immediately and wait outside. That's when a white diner nearby, who had been quietly observing, stood up and said he'd seen the whole thing. He confirmed that Isaac had ordered before him and he was already done eating. The manager was suddenly flustered. The waiter stumbled through excuses. It was a clear mistake, but no one wanted to admit the truth. They hadn't been ignored, accidentally. They had been ignored intentionally. Still, Isaac and Maya, dignified and calm, refused to let their evening be defined by ignorance. Rather than argue further, they decided to take their food to go. As they stepped outside, Maya forced a smile and suggested they eat on the curb, like they used to during their college days. Back then, all they could afford was street food, but their love was rich. They laughed about it even through the pain. But Maya wasn't finished. She quietly excused herself, saying she needed to use the restroom. Instead, she walked back into the restaurant, this time not as a polite guest, but as something more. As she approached the staff, she pulled out her badge. Maya wasn't just anyone. She was Sergeant Lily Jones with the local police department, and what had happened wasn't just bad service. It was profiling, discrimination, public humiliation. The entire restaurant fell silent. The manager and the waiter went pale. The same people who had dismissed her minutes earlier were now apologizing, backpedaling, begging her not to press charges. But Maya stood tall. She explained that everything had been recorded by customers, security cameras, even her own device, and that the evidence would be enough to cost more than a few jobs. As Maya read the waiter, his rights for falsifying customer information and property damage, Isaac entered the room quietly. He didn't say much, just stood beside his wife, her presence commanding respect in a way her skin hadn't been allowed to moments earlier. The manager tried to plead with them, insisting he hadn't known she was a cop, but that was the point. Maya didn't wear her badge to get better service. She wore it to serve justice. And tonight, justice was overdue. As they walked out once more, this time to applause from some of the diners, they carried their takeout with pride. They sat on the curb, the same as before. Only now the air was different. They had not just exposed racism, they had risen above it, together. And through it all, their love remained unshaken. Because dignity, once stood upon, is louder than any prejudice. And justice, when it comes quietly and with grace, leaves a mark that can't be denied. Happy anniversary indeed. Thank you so much for watching. Stories like Isaac and Maya's aren't just entertainment. They're reflections of real experiences people face every day. If this story resonated with you, drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. We love hearing from you. And remember, real change starts with awareness, empathy, and a willingness to speak up. Like this video if it made you think. Share it to keep the conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that matter. Until next time, stay kind, stay aware, and stay strong.